What's happening? Welcome back to another episode of the Account for Your Life podcast. I'm Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. Today on the podcast, I'm going to talk about the problem that kept my business stuck around 300,000, and what I realized is the key to getting from where we've been to where we know we want to be. So I'm going to share with you I'm not going to call it super simple, but what I'm going to say is that when you do it, what happens is you can feel yourself becoming free. Anybody want to get freedom today in your business? I'm going to share with you exactly what I did yet over the past week. Completed one thing, got another thing to complete, with obviously a lot more to do, but I'm going to share with you what I did that can potentially help you take your business to the next level. All right. Look, if you have not gotten the book Beyond Tax Strategy, don't forget to go on Amazon and pick up the book Beyond Tax Strategy. That book will help you and teach you, just kind of give you the insights and understandings that we as tax strategists look at when we're looking to save someone money, but also give you some business insights that could help you in your business, especially if you are looking to grow your business in 2024 and beyond. All right. And while you're on Amazon, make sure you check out my author page. I have a couple of other books that you might be interested in, especially if you are a faith-driven business owner. Those other two books would also help you in your journey so that you can get your life or take your life to the next level. Cool. So here it is. Well, yesterday, let's do a recap. Yesterday we talked about three, like step one of fixing my business problems, and then I gave you three things yesterday that a person needs to do in order to, if they would like to fix their business problems. Give you a recap of some other things that happened yesterday as well. So the first thing was rejecting getting rich slow. What that means is, look, instead of saying it's going to take you 40 years in order to retire, what if you could do it in one? What if you could do it in two? So think about something that you thought was big and then shorten the time frame. You got to reject the idea that things take a long time. Then the second thing was separating time from money, which is huge, because everyone gets into the workforce, with, hey, I'm gonna get paid for my hours. And you want to get away from getting paid for your hours, like writing a book, creating a program, creating a course, creating something, creating a system. We're gonna talk about system today. Creating a system that literally can work without you. And I'm gonna tell you, that's one of the biggest keys, having a system. And when you create it, oh my goodness, you have separated time from money. And then lastly, we talked about how at the end of the day, what you have to realize that you got to get better. And I'm going to take it a step further. You got to declare that you're the best. What? It doesn't matter what you're doing. You have to say, I am the best tax strategist, if that's what you were. I'm the best tax strategist. There's no other tax strategist that you can come to that can do what I can do. So you just got to accept that. Why? Because if you don't accept it, then you believe that people are better than you. You'll believe that you can't do something, and that's not what we want to accomplish. We want to accomplish, like, getting rid of all of our money problems for sure. But hey, you can get rid of most of your problems and then keep up leveling, because at the end of the day, we're going to always have some sort of a problem in our life. Just up level different types of problems that we have, then, man, you're golden. So realize that you got to get better and realize that you're the best at what you do and work for it. How do we talk about that? Yesterday we talked about practice, and we use basketball. Hey man, you got to do the basics. Like, you got to shoot the layups. And so today we're going to talk about the problem that kept me stuck. Look, it kept me stuck at this multi six-figure level, right? It kept me stuck there, and I didn't realize it until I've realized it. It took a lot of friction. It took a lot of friction for me to realize this. And so here's what it was. Systems. See, without systems, if you have a business, your business is not going to make it. I don't like you could even have made a lot of money, but without the right systems, that business is not going to be sustainable, because you're going to always be chasing your tail. And in essence, that's what's happened. It's like, you ask yourself questions like, why am I not here? Oh, you don't have a system to do it. I've even talked about systems here on the podcast. And sometimes you can know something but not do it. I'm just be honest. Sometimes you can know something but not do it. And so what I realized in creating friction for myself was that you just don't have a system. You know stuff, but if you don't systemize it, then you're always kind of chasing behind yourself and trying to figure out what's going on. And so just after just dealing with some stuff, I just said, what am I doing? And so this is where the awareness comes in. When you become aware of the problem, like you have to become aware of what the problem is. I says, oh wow, it's systems. And I love systems. I'm disciplined. I live system every day. I wake up in a system. I don't need an alarm clock ever. I never use an alarm clock. It doesn't matter what time I have to get up. It doesn't matter what time I have to get up. I get up at 3:00, I get up. So there's a system that I've embedded into my body. But having a system is what creates the results. I said again, having a system is what creates the results. I've had an opportunity to listen to some very high-level CEOs over the past week. And it was a common thing amongst these high-level CEOs. The reason that they're so high level is because of the systems that they've created around them. Systems that run their life, systems that run their business, systems that run everything. And here's what they did. They decided what the system would produce before they created it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never go in with a limited mindset when you're creating a system. You literally say, well, this is what I ultimately desire. And by ultimately desiring this outcome, then how do I get it? By creating it, like literally creating a path for it. And so one of the systems that our business needed was a fulfillment system. You know, in a service-based business, the fulfillment cycle is it's the most important. And I'll say it's the most important and I'm saying this generally, like you do, like the other system, like the growth system, you need that. The fulfillment system is the system that actually keeps your clients, and it can produce clients. It's just that a lot of times we start focusing on the beginning, which is the growth system. And even that, if that system is not duly designed good, then you get into the fulfillment cycle and everything will still get messed up. And so what I have experienced in the past, I don't know, been in business for a while, so I say a decade, is that I never documented the full journey, like how it was going to work. See, this is exactly what large companies do. Any company that you love, any company that you most of the time you spend money with, right? You know, we can just look at like the largest fast food chain, which is McDonald's. You know, they're number one again. Largest fast food chain, number one. Everybody modeled their fast food chain after McDonald's because of their system. Their system was so good that everybody decided to use it. Every fast food chain uses their system. Restaurants use their system. What is the system? The system of growing, the system of systemizing. So everyone uses their system. And when you think about it, that's why McDonald's and these companies, the Chick-fil-A's and the Wendy's, like that, you know, we're not talking about their food. We're just talking about the fact that they hire kids. They hire people who have low skills because the system is that good. I remember some years ago, man, I really wanted to create a system like within our industry that was like McDonald's. And I think I'm going to go back to that. I think I'm going to go back to it. And here's why. Is because just about anybody can be taught to do something. If you know exactly what to do in the right situation, and the situation that they're in pretty much stays the same, they can do it. Now, for my industry, my business tax strategy, what happens is most of the time you think, oh, you gotta have a certain level of skills. And that's because if there's a lot of moving parts, like that's where You have to have the know-how, you have the knowledge and the background that helps you to be able to then utilize different strategies in order to help a business save money. But then thinking of it just from the McDonald's level, is it, well, what if we just say it's like niching. These are the clients, these are the problems, and we're going to list all the problems. We're going to list all the potential strategies that we want to use, and then have a situation for when they will be used. And then create a system around each strategy that then if someone needs to learn the system, they have to come in, they got to go through the process, they got to learn the system, learn all the stuff, meaning learn when someone comes in, kind of like someone comes in and places an order. They say, well, what do you want? They said, and then, oh, okay, you need this, bam. And then you got it. It's just like that. Bam. So when we look at the phone rings right in the middle of this. Look at that. And I know you guys can hear it. So think of it like this. Give it one more second. All right. So if it's properly designed system, then you can pretty much teach anybody to do it. And this is, something as intricate as a multi-billion-dollar operation. For the most part, you've got low-skilled labor that all they have to do is follow the system. So when we think about the problem that's in your business, it's usually going to be a system problem. It's interesting. I was having a conversation recently with someone, and they were telling me all the stuff that they were doing. And the first thing I could see is that, man, they're not focused. They're not focused on what they're doing. They're just focused on they're so focused on all the external things that's happening to them, around them, but they have not decided to get focused. And I haven't actually had a chance to really, really, really get deep with the individual yet. And when I do talk to them, I'm just gonna be like, hey, well, you got too much going on. Like you have a bunch of things happening, but you got to make a decision. See, because one of the problems that keeps a business stuck is not making a decision where you were focused. This is what happened to me. Not making a decision where you would focus. It's kind of like you just hang out every day. This is what I want. This is what I want, but I'm not doing it. What would I need to do? This is the question I had to ask. What do I need to do in order to get this result, in order to get this done? It's crazy. As I opened up questions last week, do you know the solution to my problem showed up? I'm going to say that again. As I opened up questions, I asked a series of questions that literally led me to creating the initial system for our fulfillment cycle. It took me a few days in order to do it, because when you're creating something, it's all mental. Like you're literally grabbing things out, and then you're trying to synchronize, and you're trying to put them in an order so that it makes sense. And I know that there's still going to be some adjustments to our system for fulfillment. But at the very least, when I finished it yesterday, I had a picture. Had a picture that if someone looked at it, they could see exactly where we were going. And then there were some details embedded into it that then they can look at, okay, well, I see that's the thing that has to happen. Let me look at the details behind that. Oh, look at that. That's all I have to do. So I says, man, look at what's accomplished. And do you know how excited you get when you actually create and complete something? In the Bible, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void. Darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of the Lord moved upon the face of the deep. So let's think about something here. Nothing was happening. Things was in chaos. This is exactly what was happening in the business. Things was in chaos. Nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. And so we had to take the chaos and turn it into something by saying, let there be light. Boom. We created a system of light so that when we look, we can see exactly what it is that we want to see, which was an illumination over the problem that we initially experienced. The problem was it was dark and it was chaotic. Nothing was in order. But as soon as the light shone up, and then we placed order to it, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, everything can work now. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, so that he can rule over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the fowl. This is what God has given us. He's given us an ability we get to create from something. We get to take the things that's already created and make it into something. And so there was something that was already created that God enabled me to be able so that I can create it. And he says, be fruitful, multiply, have dominion, subdue and have dominion. So when you look at your business and you look at the fact that you're having a problem, it's because, one, the right question hasn't been asked. The right question hasn't been asked. So if I'm having a problem that's keeping us stuck, then it's like, well, what is it that's actually keeping us stuck? Then it's like, oh, you need a system. Oh, okay, we need a system. Well, what kind of system? We need a couple of systems, but the first system you need to do, because you've already got clients and customers, is you need to make sure your fulfillment of the services that you've already sold can be delivered in a very high fashion. And then the system is created. Voila. I used my God-given ability of creation in order to solve the problem that sat in front of me. So at the end of the day, when I look at the problem or any other problems, I says, all I have to do is ask the question, hey, why are you not getting as many customers as you would like? I'm going to end here. I had a conversation yesterday with a couple of people, and here's what I learned from the conversation. It's the energy. It's the energy around the things that you're around that gives you energy. And there was one particular conversation I had, and the gentleman's he's in sales. And what happened was, it was almost like he transferred his energy into me and made me feel and see something totally new, something that I could have seen all the while. And so when you ask the question like, hey, well, why don't I get enough customers? He's like, oh, he gives me a scenario. And like, look at that. It's like, why didn't I think of that sooner? But it's systematic. It's having a system for doing something so that you can actually get the result, but not having a system keeps you stuck like Chuck in a pickup truck. And if you don't want to be stuck in your business, then I would say this: stop, ask a series of questions around the problems that you're seeing, and then listen for the answers. And when the answers come, do it now. Okay? Do it now. That's what we did. I created a system for fulfilling the thing that we said we would do. And I'm looking to continue to innovate that, as well as create more systems, which I got another system to design today, which is our growth system of how we acquire customers. And so that system now feeds into the fulfillment system. And I'll let you know how that goes over the next few days. It probably take me a couple of days to do it. And I'm just excited, and at some point, right, if you're a serious faith-driven business owner and you want to get access to some of the things that I'm working on, and you really want to take your business to the next level, look, feel free to reach out. Feel free to reach out so that we can have a consultation about what's going on in your business. And, maybe I have some ideas already that can help you, like on the call, literally free. And then if there's like a way that we can help you like on an ongoing basis, we can set that up, because look, there's no sense in being stuck. There's no sense in not growing. So we could figure out exactly why you're not growing and then see how you can get to your next level. So guys, I thank you for joining me for another episode of the I AFYL Podcast. This is Jay Moore, the Healthy Accountant, helping you to account for your life. God bless, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.
This has been the Account for Your Life podcast with your host, the Healthy Accountant himself, Jay Moore. Until next time, make it a great day.